What's going on, guys? No Honda work today. Got the key for the lovely old Mazda van out there. Time to get the motor out of it. I'll get her fired up and show you what's going on with this one. Oh, you're kidding. Okay, I'll jump it and then I'll show you what's going on with it. Right, we'll try that again. Hopefully you can hear it. Oh yes. Don't know if the camera's picking that up, but she's got a nice little rod knock there. Let's get her inside and get into it. These are becoming a common problem, these Mazda L3 engines. Starting to do a lot of them. Oh, she hasn't got very good steering either. The last sort of 6 months or so, I've probably done 6 or 8 of these engine swaps on the Mazda Excellers and this Mazda CX-7 and all of them. They're all turning to garbage. So, this is the first Mazda Premacy one I've done. So this will be interesting. Quite an easy swap to do though. Oh, that steering is not good. See if I can get some of that rod knock action going. Sounds good on idle. Yeah, she's not happy. First point of call, I might get the battery out and get it on charge. So she's all ready to go once the new motor's in there. In the Mazda Excellers and everything, they're pretty straightforward engine swap to do. They really thought about everything. Most of the hoses and everything stay on the engine. You just take radiator hoses off, heater hoses off. The wiring loom stays on the engine. The ECU's under here, just have to unplug that. A couple wires from the fuse box. That's about it. They're simple engine swap to do. First of all, we will lift her up and get all the fluids out of it, see what they look like. Interesting to see how much fluid comes out of this. There's nothing in the radiator overflow bottle, nothing on the dipstick. I think the only one that's got any fluid in it is the trans. We'll get it up and see. These Mazdas are horrible things. They've got these speed nuts underneath here for that under tray. They've got a nut up on top. It's supposed to make it quicker and easier to take them off, but you got to undo them and those nuts just spin. You got to reach around with a spanner and undo it that way. Good fun. But under here, she looks pretty dry, so all the oil hasn't leaked out. I would say she's burnt it. Let's get it draining and have a nosy. Alright, let's put this clean container into my oil drain there. We'll drain some of it in there and see how metallic-y it is. Hopefully there's some metallic bits in there that make it interesting. Also see how much comes out of it. Doesn't look very metallic-y coming out of there. It's pretty black though. There's not a whole lot of it. It's almost filled that up and she's starting to slow down. Before we overflow that, I'll get her draining in there now. Yeah, that's nowhere near enough oil for one of these. It's not leaking externally, so she's got to all be going out the exhaust. Another oil burner. Doesn't look too metallic-y there. On the fingers it's not really either. I was hoping to see some bearing material on that. Shine a light on it. Oh, there is little metal flakes in there. See, she's a little spotty waddy. Awesome. By the way, that's about all the oil that's drained out of it. What that container be, maybe half a litre at the most, and she's dribbling out of here. And she's stopping. Half a litre out of an engine that should have 5 litres in it. Yeah, she wouldn't be happy with that. Right, got all the fluids out of her. There was coolant in it, and trans fluid was alright in it too. Wasn't as bad as what I thought it was going to be. Right, we'll go ahead and get the air box out, intake pipe, battery box, ECU, heater hoses, radiator hoses, all of that stuff, cables and whatnot. Get all that out, and then we'll get underneath and do what needs to be done under there.
Walking through the rain, don't know where I'm going. My head's leading me astray. Yeah, you follow knowing. Getting deeper in the frame. I see your face, I feel the pain.
Just thought I'd stop the time lapse there and just show you how to work these ends on the brake booster hose. She runs all the way up the back there to the brake booster hose. A lot of people don't, they'll either break this trying to undo it because they don't actually understand how it comes off, or they just cut the hose or whatever. All you have to do, now doing this one-handed, it's going to be a mission. It's just a push lock fitting. So you push down on this little black lip there, and get down and pull her out. Oh, it's not easy to do one-handed. No, come on. Yeah, I'll sit you down. Push down on that little lip I just showed you. Pull. Done. Just a push lock fitting. Easy.
Yeah, you still walk the path I follow anyways. I'm in love with the way that you hold me when I fall back down. And I'm in love with the words from your voice that pull me off the ground now. This love's been a long time coming. My breath stalls but my heart keeps running.
Right, that's pretty much everything up here done. Still got to get the gear selector cable off, but I've got to unclip that from the trans from underneath there. Also the exhaust manifold has to come off too, but I've got to undo the flange bolts at the other end, so I'll undo that once I've got those off so she's not moving around. Right, we'll go underneath and do everything under there. Alright, axle nuts are off. The axles are seized in there, so I'll leave it for a bit, see if that penetrant can soak in there. Both of them are doing it. If not, we'll just have to take the whole hub assembly off just to get those axles out of the way. still aren't going to come out of there. There's C's in there, so it means we'll have to take the whole hub off, which is no fun. Makes it a little bit longer, but you know, we've got to do it. Also just got to get that aircon compressor off and get that out of the road. So once that's off, axles are done, she's ready to drop Cool, that's everything off. She's ready to come out. Now the engine's just hanging there by the driver's side engine mount and the passenger side one. This one's just got a metal plate over it, got to get off, and then mount pops out, and this one just pops out nice and easy too. So what I do is I just chuck 3 or 4 axle stands underneath the block there, take those mounts and then I'll just lower the car down onto it to get the weight off the mounts, and I whip the mounts off and then just lift the car straight up and she drops out the bottom. I'll get those axle stands under there, then show you how they go. So the engine's sitting in there now. Before she was pretty loose and rocking back and forth, but now with the axle stands under it, one at the front of the gearbox, one at the back of the gearbox, and then one at the front of the engine there, that'll be enough to support it. So I'll whip those mounts off and lift her out. There it is. Doesn't get much easier than that. As you see, everything just comes off with it. Wiring loom and everything's all intact. It's just those few hoses and a couple of earths and whatnot, and she comes out. Even with having to take the hubs off complete like that with the axles, it's still a simple job really. So yeah, what has to be done next is it lifted off the axle stands, and I've got to take the alternator, starter motor, wiring loom, coils, everything I know that works on this engine, and swap it over to the other one, including the trans. Got the engine sitting over here. Quite a nice clean second-hand engine. Hopefully you can see it, hopefully the sun's not too glary for you. There you go. Yeah, doesn't look like a bad engine. Soon find out when we slap her in. So that's enough for today. We'll carry on with that tomorrow. Cheers guys.